Welcome to the Cozy Little Library today with your Clean Reads Book Buddy. Come along and let me show you one of my favorite book hauls yet. I've got 18 books.
Holy sardine!
Spanning revolutionary history, Regency romance, Christian mysteries, classics, middle grades. I hope you have fun. The Life She Forgot by Joanna Davidson Politano. I am very excited to begin this one in just a couple days. She is releasing this on April the 21st, but it is book number 1 in the House on the Edge of the Cliff series, her first series, and I find all of her books that I have read so far very atmospheric. I can't put them down. I'm sure this one is going to be great as well because it is on the Cornish coast. It is a dual timeline, 1913 and 1940. And an amnesia trope, a lot of mystery. A Bride for Keeps, book number 1 in the Unexpected Brides series by Melissa Jagears. Our mail here has sent for 3 different mail order brides in Kansas, 1876. None of them have worked out. He has given up. However, he has a friend who wants to see him settled, and so she sends for another one and doesn't tell him. So he has no idea that she's coming. And our female is in Massachusetts, and her dad is setting her up to be married with someone who is apparently not acceptable. She's escaping from that, and Kansas sounds like the perfect place to go, reminiscent of Jeanette Oak. He'd been jilted before. She had nowhere else to go. Very excited to check this out. Scars of the Revolution is book number 3 in the Harbor of Spies series. I love this one, as I have loved the entire series so far. Our colonial woman is fighting her forbidden feelings of a British soldier that is quartering in her house. Now, it is so interesting. Some scars are born from duty, others from rebellion. Theirs were carved by both. Loved it. I picked up 2 books in the Doors to the Past series, which is a 12-book standalone series in Spotlight and Shadow by Rachel Scott McDaniel. I loved it because the glamorous theater world of the 1920s was the oldest part of the dual timeline. About an actress, and she's actually accused of being a jewel thief. The current timeline has a young woman finding this jeweled necklace. There is such a surprising connection at the end that I really loved this and basically consumed it in one sitting. The audiobook is fantastic. Then I picked up Undercurrent of Secrets, also by Rachel Scott McDaniel, and I have not read this yet, but I'm very excited to. Both timelines, 1925 and the present, are anchored by this historic riverboat. It's 2 different love stories. I'm very excited to start this. I picked up 2 Sarah E. Ladd books that I have already read. I wanted to own them. An Unconventional Lady is a standalone, her latest release. And it is about a Regency era young woman who is beautiful and charming and brilliant. She's on a mission to disprove a scientific idea. Her mom was trying to disprove this but passed away before she could. There's a fella from her past, a friend, who comes back into the picture to help her. Very interesting. The Cloverton Charade, it is book number 3 in the Houses of Yorkshire series. Their dads worked together in the antiquities business. They were friends. Something happened and they became enemies. So these 2 were not allowed to be friends. They couldn't be around each other.
Romeo and Juliet.
Years go on and they find themselves at this house party out in Yorkshire in the middle of nowhere. These 2, even though they're on opposite sides of what's going on, there is almost immediately an honesty. They talk about it. Excitement and mystery. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this book. Waking Lucy by Lorin Grace, book 1 in the American Homespun series. I'm not familiar with the author, but I wanted it because it's set right after the Revolutionary War. Lucy dreamed of marrying Samuel until she woke up as his wife. He goes off to Harvard and something happens. He gets rejected there, comes back to his New England home and finds out that Lucy is sick with an illness that is very serious, and I believe it took the rest of her family. So he steps in to help, and in doing doing so, her reputation is put at risk. It sounded like a really unique premise. A Secret Correspondence by Kasey Stockton. This is the last book in the Hearts of Harewood series. It is definitely not necessary to read the other books in this series. This book, though, is amazing because it mixes that Regency era countryside, also a lot of mystery. There is some peril in this as well. Her letters revealed everything, but the thing he needs most, her name. Really loved this story. I picked up 2 of the 4 books in the History Detective Club series by Wendy Neugent, where history doesn't feel like homework. I'm going to pop up the images because these are so shiny. A young girl, her mom in the current day is working as a reenactor at Colonial Williamsburg. Then she gets a hold of something that makes her go back to 1774 Williamsburg, and she's plunged into all kind of danger and mystery, and so interesting you will not be able to put these books down. Sparks Over Glenwood by CP Cabaniss, a Glenwood Harris prequel. I was sent this by the author to give an honest review because it is a clean contemporary romance that takes place near Independence Day. It is a love story, but she told me that there is a lot of focus on history and has little tidbits of revolutionary history. Set to release on June the 9th. She was saying how there's not a lot of clean contemporary patriotism books, and I am ecstatic to check this out. Once a Queen by Sarah Author, and the cover just got me. It's a Narnia-inspired middle grade. It's about a 14-year-old girl who goes to her English grandmother's manor for the first time. But when she gets there, there are secrets. What really got me, odd things start happening in the gardens at night. The staff starts acting mysterious, and even the house itself. Yes, yes, yes. Prepare to be enchanted. So excited to read this. NorthArgyle Abbie by Janelle, Leonard, part mystery and part adventure and part faith. Retelling of Northanger Abbey, but in Australia, and our young woman inherits a cottage that unravels her grandmother's mysterious past. Love this cover so much. I am very excited to get started on this. Echoes of the Sea by Sarah M. Eden. This is book 2 in the Storm Tide series. This actually won in the voting poll for my Patreon members. We started this as our April book club book. It is incredible. The audiobook is fantastic. There's actually a male and a female narrating. Well, the male character is so funny and sarcastic. He is an American actor working in London. He gets cut from the show, needs a job for the summer, and his friend says, there is this island, there is a historic site on the island off the coast of England. They're looking for a reenactor. On the way to the island, he may end up in the ocean while there is lightning going on. So when he gets to the island, it is so funny. He thinks that they are just staying in character as their 1803 job. And that's all I'm going to say. So far, it's really hard to put down. Very excited about this one. Frances Burney's Evelina, I was very curious about. Published in 1778, Jane Austen. Read this, and I just wanted to see what it was about. It was supposed to be a witty social comedy. I did get the Penguin Classic so I could annotate and highlight, and I'm glad I read it. It's a 2026 goal to read from these 2 classic authors that somehow I have never read from before, Jules Verne and Henry David Thoreau. For Jules Verne, I'm going to read Journey to the Center of the Earth, and then I'm going to read Walden. But my late son talked about these authors. I'm going to use his beautiful editions, but I wanted to be able to take notes and highlight Journey to the Center of the Earth. Of course, an 1864 adventure of this eccentric professor who finds a piece of parchment talking about the subterranean volcano. What if the greatest adventure wasn't across the world, but beneath it? Written in 1854 about where he literally went into the woods for a couple of years, built a cabin on Walden Pond. He wanted to simplify life and observe nature, think deeply. So glad you were here with me today. Give me a books emoji and let me know which books you want to add to your TBR. Until next time.